Hello, and welcome back to today's Liberated Body Circle. Today's theme is movement as expression. So this is a theme I'm really excited to get into because as a dance movement therapist and movement practitioner in general, I fully understand and come from the philosophy that we have so much to say that's nonverbal, so much that we can say just with our bodies, our facial expressions, our posture in our everyday lives. And it's something that I'm truly helping professionals work through, or people in general, but professionals in terms of the teaching that I do, aside from teaching yoga and working with all of you as a movement practitioner. I also teach English. And so for me, a lot of how we communicate really starts with the body. And there are many ways that we can express ourselves. In today's class, I'm going to take you through a quick warm-up just to get you kind of grounded inside of your body. I'm sure that you've heard me say this so many times, but it's so important when we're working in somatic practices to come from a grounded place where we feel connected to our bodies, where we maybe even feel ourselves start to sweat a bit. Anything that gets us feeling and sensing and having some kind of experience through the body where you feel connected to yourself. So we'll go through a few practices just to warm your bodies up. And then after that, I'm mostly going to guide you through rather than showing you what to do. I'm going to guide you through a few activities so that we can explore this amazing theme of movement as expression. All right, so to get started, let's begin in a standing position today. Normally I give lots of options, but today I think it's better for us to just be in a standing position. So go ahead and stand up from wherever you are. You don't need a ton of space, just whatever space you have available. And let's directly start to connect with our breath. So you can close your eyes if that's more comfortable. Go ahead and take a moment to notice how you're breathing in this moment. No need to adjust anything. You're simply being an observer of what's happening in your own body. Just notice, how am I breathing in this moment? What's your natural breathing pattern? And then take a moment to close your eyes, if that's comfortable, and notice if your body is rocking or swaying in any direction. So again, just observing what's happening in your body. It's very natural that we have some kind of a light sway or a rocking or maybe even a circular motion that's happening in our bodies. So just notice what's going on in your body today. And then if you like, you can open your eyes back up ever so gently. And then notice the texture of your hands. So maybe rubbing your fingers together ever so gently, ever so slightly. So working from the fingertips to start activating different types of the body. And then wiggle your toes. So you can't see my feet here, but I'm just wiggling my toes and observing what my toes look like today. Now let's observe the other foot. If you only looked at one foot, I'm looking at my other foot now. And when you have both feet firmly planted on the ground, notice where you feel your body weight. Sometimes it can feel like your center of gravity is leaning a little bit forward or maybe over to one side or the other. Just noticing what's happening here. So where do you feel that point of gravity? Where do you feel like your body is really rooted today? And then let's take a few deep breaths together. So let's go ahead and inhale. We can do this with our arms. So inhale the arms up and exhale as you press. Again, inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale through the nose. We'll go through that just a couple more times, finding a pace that works for you. I'll just do the motions on the screen here. And now let's start to get our body a little bit more warmed up. So do a little jog in place, Hopefully my microphone is not sounding funny right now while I'm doing this, but if it is, it's because I'm kind of jogging with you. And then if you have more space, you can go around the room. So just kind of jogging wherever you are, getting the body a little bit warmed up, going in different directions. So moving from one side to the other. And if you'd like to take the pace up a little bit and move a little bit faster in your space, I invite you to do that. I'm just going to stay here since I don't have a lot of space out here. I'm just going to stay with this pace right now. And then you can move a little bit faster. Maybe I can go a little faster in place. Just trying to get your body warmed up. And a little faster. And then in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're just going to stop and close our eyes for a moment. Notice if your body is still moving some way, or if it still wants to move in some way, if your body still wants to express something. Notice what's happening with your breathing pattern at this moment. Notice if there are other parts of your body that are waiting to become awakened today. Notice what's happening in you. In any somatic practice, it's really about recognizing what's happening in your mind, what's happening in your body. Feeling, sensing, having this kind of body awareness of what is happening in my body today. So now we're going to move into a few different exercises. Hopefully you're feeling like your body's a little bit warmed up. And what I will do is guide you through. Every single thing that I suggest is an open invitation. If you feel like it's not right for your body today, or you're simply not interested, listen to that. That's your mind and your body telling you something. Maybe you need a little more rest today, but you still wanted to see what this practice was all about. This is a constant conversation between you and yourself, you and your body, you and your mind. So do as much or as little as you'd like in this practice. So movement as expression is the theme of today. So the first thing I'm going to invite you to do is a little bit of expressing what a specific emotion that I name might feel like in your body. So first, I encourage you to just take a little walk around your room. Even marching in place will suffice if you don't have a lot of space in the space that you're inhabiting today. But take a little walk, just kind of walk casually as you would if you're walking down the street. And I will name an emotion, and I'd like to invite you to show what that emotion would look like coming from you. So what would you do with your body if this emotion was present with you? And maybe I'm going to name an emotion that is present with you today. So if it is, you can just be yourself and be how you are when I name that emotion, if it's named. So let's get started. Keep walking around the room. And let's begin with joy. So what does joy look like in your body? How does it show up? And what kind of movements do you want to do when you are expressing joy? Uncertainty. So what do your shoulders do? What does your head do? What do different parts of your body want to do when you're feeling uncertain in a situation, uncertain about something somebody said to you, or uncertain about something somebody did, or uncertain about a message that you received on your phone? What happens in your body? Try to express uncertainty. Shyness. So how do you act? How do you move? How does your body react when you're feeling shy in a situation, when you're meeting someone new and you don't know what to expect and you feel timid or shy in your body. How does that show up for you? What about when you're feeling really angry or upset about something? What happens? What do you want to do? What rhythm is your movement? Is it slow? Is it fast paced? Are you just walking with a lot of intention? What does that look like? How does that show up in your body when you're angry about something? Something that happened, something you read? Sad. How does the experience in your body change when you feel sad about something? Is it more movement? Is it less movement? Does your posture change? Does your breathing change? All questions to ask yourself as you are expressing this emotion of sadness. Confidence. So, what kind of expressions through your body do you want to make when you're feeling so confident about something? Feeling just so sure, you just know that this is the job for you, or that you can do this, or that you're about to succeed in something. How does confidence show up in your body? What kind of gestures or movements or posture do you have, or do you want to make? Fear. So how does that movement shift when you feel fear, when that sensation is present? What happens to your posture? What are your hands doing? What is your body doing? What facial expressions do you have? And lastly, anticipation. So what happens in your body when you're waiting for something to happen? You're ready for that next thing. How does your body change? How does your speed of movement change, the tempo and the rhythm of your body? So now just take another walk around your space. Let go of any of the other emotions that we practiced. Maybe you are not identifying with any of those today, but just take a moment to walk around your space and reflect on what emotion is present with you today. And it can be anything. It can even be a range of emotions. Perhaps it's not always so black and white where we just feel one thing. It can be true that sometimes on one hand we're feeling one emotion, and on the other hand we feel something very different because we've got lots of different things happening in our daily lives. So even if you feel a range of emotions and you're between 2 or 3 different emotions, think about what those emotions are. Think about trying to name them if you can. And keep walking as you're reflecting on this, just taking a walk. Or if you don't have enough space, just marching in place is fine. It's totally okay to do that too. But just keeping your body in movement as we're going through these activities. And once you understand what emotions are present with you today, I'd like to invite you to express those emotions through your body. Now, I'll give you a few minutes to do this. I will wait here in silence. And the idea is that you're going to experiment and play with different ways that this emotion can show up in your body. There's not one way. There's not one set thing that we do. And again, our movement is really particular to who we are as a person. We each have something that's called a movement profile. So what shows up as joy for you might look very different in somebody else. So just play with and explore what that looks like for you, those emotions that are showing up with you today. How do you express those in your unique body, in your body that is one of a kind, that has your own story to tell. How do you tell the story of the emotions you're experiencing? And as you're going through this movement exploration today, I'd just like to give a quick reminder that everything that happens in these spaces that are rooted in somatic activities, body awareness, consent, and choice, everything is an invitation to explore as much or as little as you'd like, to make the decision if you need to decide, I don't feel like doing this today. It's all putting into practice things that maybe we have a hard time doing in our day-to-day lives for ourselves. For example, if you have a hard time saying no to people, maybe this space can be a place where you learn to say, no, my body doesn't feel like practicing that activity. And then little by little, it might become easier for you to begin saying no. So just a quick reminder as you're going through this exploration, as you're exploring your own emotions, that this is a space to explore, to choose, to decide what you are comfortable with participating in or not. Stay connected to those emotions that are showing up in your body today. Keep moving, keep exploring. If you had a range of emotions, make sure that you're giving yourself enough time to experience that range of emotions, or those two different emotions that are showing up today. So if they're opposing, what does it look like in one state versus the other coming from your body? Keep moving, keep exploring. And now take a moment to slowly begin to wrap up this movement exploration for today, and bring this moment to a place of stillness. You might need a few seconds to let go of those emotions, to release the activity that we were doing. And as you're slowly going through that process of release, of coming back to center, coming back to a grounded place, I invite you to find a posture that is in complete stillness. So try to find a way to end this movement exploration, and then you can come to a place of sitting, a place of standing, whatever works better for you right now. And I invite you to close your eyes and to reflect on movement as expression. Reflect on what you experienced today through your own body. Reflect on the stories that your body had to tell about how you're feeling in the here and now. Reflect on what feelings are coming through right now as you try to express yourself in a nonverbal way. And lastly, reflect on that relationship that you're slowly building with yourself, getting to know yourself more and more each day, getting to know yourself every time you decide to show up to a practice that has the intention of bringing you back to home, your body. So redirecting you back to your own body, helping you reconnect with yourself. How do you feel every time you show up to do that? Thank you so much for joining me in today's quick practice, the Liberated Body Circle, happening every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern time, and 7 p.m. Central European time. We have live sessions available that will be a little bit longer than these videos that I've been sharing recently. This is just the beginning of this process, so we're slowly building the community so that eventually we can have these practices fully live. But in the meantime, I hope that you're enjoying these videos. If you could just leave a comment or tell me what happened for you during this experience, if you're comfortable with doing that. Again, consent and choice is the priority here. So feel free to share a comment or write to me to tell me how it was for you, whatever feels most comfortable for you, or write something in your journal about the experience. It can always be really helpful to process and sum up these experiences, which we are the Liberated Body and Mind Studio, which is an online community for exactly this purpose. So I hope that you will join the community. I hope that you will join the live sessions, and we'll be back here next week for another practice. Have a great day.